It was the summer of 2016. I'll never forget it. I had just had my son, and we was leaving my sister Mimi house, me, 50, and the kids. So we driving on our way to the crib. Everything cool. And it seemed like as soon as we hit Sherman, the streets just looked like a bad dream. It was cars flying everywhere, police sirens. And I remember grabbing my phone, trying to see what was going on. The news clipping, a Facebook, Instagram post, something. And I later found out that there was an officer-involved fatal shooting that resulted in a young black man from the community transitioning, and the city was not going. I felt like what I was watching was coming from a place of a lot of hurt, a lot of rage and confusion, and it was multiple fires that night, including the BMO Harris Bank on Fond du Lac. I say probably about a year and a half later, I started hearing plenty people talk about the Sherman Phoenix and how it was going to be like a mall type vibe, and a lot of Milwaukee entrepreneurs, this is where they was getting ready to be. This is where you could find them. And then I started to see the results of what everybody was talking about. I'd be driving down Fond du Lac and I would see people outside of that BMO Harris Bank that was set on fire, and they'd be cleaning it and, getting it together, getting it ready. Ain't that just like God, though? To take something that the devil set out for wicked, dark, and ugly and flip the script and create beauty, light, and opportunity for his people. He's so cold. That fire was 7 years ago. And the Sherman Phoenix has been open now for 5 years and even survived through the pandemic. Milwaukee County. Man, listen. I love my city. I've been making my own moves. But first I talk to God like, what you want me to do? It's personal with ReRe. I take it personally when you talking to me. Moving by my own rules. But I pray about it first. God, show me what to do.
This is Kia.
I ask God to order my steps and guide my thoughts, direct my feet, and place the right people in front of me. I'm big stepping, and every day is a gift. I open my eyes like, thank you, God, for this. I'm grateful. Another day to get it right, another chance, another dance. Let's get it. And God knows I'll be tired, but I'ma work these gifts and rate.
I ain't gonna shoot you today.
Tricks ain't chasing money, money chasing me. It's personal with ReRe. I take it personally when you talking to me. Moving by my own rules, but I pray about it first. God, show me what to do. It's personal with ReRe. I take it personally when you talking to me. You can't have that conversation with everybody, because everybody ain't there, and that's cool. And everybody ain't gonna be happy for you. But I could sit and talk for hours about the goodness of God and all the crazy stuff He brought me through.
How can I say thanks for the things You've done for me?
I could sit and talk for hours, that still wouldn't tell it all.
So undeserving.
I'm eternally grateful.
Voices of a million angels cannot express my gratitude.
I owe Him everything.
This that kingdom business.
No, ain't none of this made up. Yeah, I remember them long nights of all night trying to figure out my next move. Broke, busted, and disgusted, feeling like this can't be life. How I end up in this? Which way is out? I heard you could make it. That's if you strong enough to take it. And waiting on God ain't never been easy. That ain't what I heard, but what I know. Yeah, I've been there before. I was hurting. I'm talking about the last little fight I had left. God, please, come see about me. Swear I wanted to quit, but man, don't He always find a way to holler at you? I'm talking about when life get loud, you hear Him talking to you. I thank God for every used vessel. Yeah, the known and unknown, for anybody that was praying for me when I wasn't praying for myself, speaking life when I wasn't for myself.
How can I say thank you, thank you, thank you? All the reasons to give You the glory. The voices of a million angels cannot express my gratitude. I owe it to You.
'Cause I was not supposed to make it. You hear me? I'm talking about being counted out. The black sheep that never blended in. Only made it easier to surrender when I was running from God.
gon' catch you anyway. You ever felt them up on you applying pressure? Yeah, pressure busts pipes, but he's patient and his mercy and his grace never fails. Blessings on blessings, they running over. I can't thank him enough. I owe him everything, and that's an understatement. I got blessings I can't explain that I ain't even asked for, but still have my name on it. Oh, that's the Holy Spirit on me. Yeah, nowadays I glow different. I walk different, talk different, think different. Nothing's the same. He got me looking at everything different.
How can I say thank you, thank you, thank you? Reasons to give you the glory. Voices of a million angels cannot express my gratitude. I owe it to you.
'Cause I was not supposed to make it. I'm talking about being counted out.
This that kingdom business.
Miss Jamila and Miss Pam in the building.
Yes.
So this is dope for me because the women that I've been talking to is just one-on-one, but this is a mother and daughter duo. That's cold to me. Like, seriously.
We love it.
Yeah. So let me ask y'all at the Sherman Phoenix building right now, have you guys always been at the Sherman Phoenix, or is this
As
like...
for a retail space, yes.
Okay.
This is our first, well,
No.
no, we can't count, I guess we can count the WCC.
WCC.
So we started out in retail in a pop-up shop at the Mayfair Mall
Okay.
inside Wisconsin Curated Creations.
Okay.
So that was our very first time being in a space together.
How did, and I know it was like the whole rioting thing and everything with the bank burning down, and that's how the Sherman Phoenix came about, but before that happened, were you guys already in business, or is this something that came like right after?
So both of us have been in business.
Okay.
I've been doing J. Riley 10 years.
Okay.
Well, since 2009. It's
Okay.
been my full-time job. So we were both in business.
It is.
I can't believe it's been
It's
that long.
been your full-time for what, three?
It's been my full time
years
for
now?
3 years, but it's
Okay.
been I've been doing it for as long as you've been doing J. Riley.
yeah.
But
So we both were in business before then. We just weren't in an actual brick and mortar of our own. I had merchandise in various local stores and stores in other states, but just not my own.
Okay, speaking of that, let me ask you this, because I was on your Instagram page, and Erica Badu is following you. How did that happen? What were you doing in the moment where your Instagram was like, Erica Badu is following you? And like, where was you at when that happened? Let me
I
ask you
was
that.
at home. It was the middle of the night. I woke my daughter up screaming.
I wanted to say, like,
it
what was
so
your
crunk, we didn't
response?
send her to school the next day because she was just up. We was just up. So what happened was she was here. And so a bunch of us local creators ended up putting together a basket for her. And they allowed us to leave it for her in the dressing room.
Dope.
And so the next day she ended up video chatting Lilo Allen of Papyrus and Charms down at the Brownsville Collective.
Okay.
And so she was on there and she was showing everybody stuff, right? Like she's like, I got this. She had on her classic shirt. Like
Wow.
she was just really admiring all the things she had gotten, right? And so Lilo was trying to snap pictures of everything. And then when she held my earrings up, like you couldn't really see her. And I was like, dang, you couldn't really see. I said, but it don't matter. She got it.
'em.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Bam. And my husband, I'll never forget, my husband was like, that's all right. It's going to be something different for you, watch.
Uh-huh.
Man, listen. When I tell you she inboxed me and asked me to make her some more stuff.
Listen, I don't
then-
really be starstruck like that,
Hey.
but Erica Badu? What?
And then she made, I'm going to have to show you, she made a video for me with the hat on.
Wow.
And followed me that day. And she's worn it. Like she
a number
wears
of
it
times.
at different stuff. Like she had a opening for some art, something she did. Like, yeah.
So she genuinely like a a smooth
listen
person.
to-
Yeah.
Do you understand me?
Yeah. Outside, because I have a couple of pair. I ain't wearing them right now, but I have my J. Riley earrings. Don't get it twisted. Outside of the earrings, what else can we find in your store?
So right now, the main thing is the earrings because
Okay.
it took off so fast and so hard and so much that's really what I focus on. In the fall and winter months, I do create hats and scarves, and I was hoping that by the end of this year, J. Riley Home would launch, and that'll be
Like home decor type
like table runners, placemats, wall hangings, rugs, throws, and Afghans, pillows, and things of that nature. So next year.
So that's what this is.
So this is my reminder.
A reminder of what?
To keep going.
To keep
so it's
going.
literally my signature. My logo was actually my signature when I first started. I look back
No,
at
like
that old
when
stuff.
you do it on the back of
It's
your
all
on the
jagged and just
denim.
looking crazy. But because I used to sign, I used to put denim on the back of the earrings and I used to sign them.
Yeah.
And so, and I always knew I wanted my logo to be real clean, just real simple.
Straight to the
So
point.
it's always
So you got your signature and the ball of
and a
yarn.
ball of yarn and a crochet hook. It's just my reminder to keep going.
That's cold. And Miss Pam, I see you got the at peace hanging right now. At peace.
Always.
What is? How did you come up with at peace?
So at peace. So there's two parts to at peace.
Okay.
At peace. I became at peace after going through a divorce.
Okay.
And it was a tough one, and I was not sleeping at nights. It was took its toll. But one night I all of a sudden felt this like calm come over, and I'm like, you know what? If we gotta sell the house, we gotta sell the house. If we have to live in an apartment, we have to live in an apartment. You know. But basically, I just said. I just knew that I was going to be all right. We're going to be all right with this, and that's what I personally became at peace. So it wasn't until a little year later, I was on a girls' trip with my girlfriends. We do an annual girls' trip, and that's the inaugural one. And you know, as girls do, we get together and we like to have fun, and we do some stupid things sometimes. And at this particular time, we decided to do tattoos.
Okay.
So we all said, oh, we're going to get tattoos. Yeah, you know, we were in the Bahamas, mind you. So we went to this tattoo parlor, and the guy, and I was like, nah, I'm not getting another tattoo. The first one I got hurt. It really hurt.
How many tattoos you got, Miss Pam?
I have 3 right now. And so, but the guy's like, don't worry, Mom. I'll take care of you.
Okay.
But I also thought, if I'm going to get another tattoo, it's going to have some significant meaning to me.
Absolutely.
And so while the other girls were doing their tattoos with the names and stuff on there, I was just kind of doodling and just kind of going over the past year and where I was in life and how I was feeling at that particular moment. And I thought, you know what? I am finally at peace. And it was like, ding, 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 ding. So I wrote the at sign and the peace sign. And this is the original tattoo. I won't change it. I won't have it replaced or anything. But that's the
You got that in the Bahamas.
And I got this in the Bahamas. Horrible. They did an awful job.
But it got meaning to
No,
it.
it has meaning to it, but they did an awful job. I mean, look at this. But anyway,
Like the quality of it and everything.
right. But the meaning, the story behind
it.
it, so it will stay. It will stay like this because this is the original. But then I came back home, and I still was very attached to the symbolism of what I wrote. And then my friends and family were like, oh, that can be a T-shirt, that can be a mouse pad, that can be, you know, back when we did mouse pads. And so I had it redone on this wrist.
That's amazing. I'm not even going to say 5 years, 12 months, a year from now, Lord willing. What's the goal for Miss Pam and J. Riley, like, at peace?
So at peace right now, my intention for the whole mission behind At Peace is to help others become at peace.
Okay.
Not so much a retail thing. I didn't want to be an apparel company or mug company or anything like that. I wanted to help others become at peace because I think everybody should be at peace.
So are you open to like therapy sessions with
collaborations, not therapy because I'm not a therapist, but I will definitely do collaborations if someone has a wellness event and they want to collaborate and go at peace with American Family. Or you know, Morrison Coors is at peace. You know, or something like that. I'm looking for that co-branding and participate in their health and wellness events and encourage others to be at peace. The things I'm working on right now is I am working with the Girl Scouts. And we're working on a badge. So Southeast, we'll start with Southeast in Wisconsin, but we want Girl Scouts of America to earn an at peace badge. So,
So,
that's in the works right now.
This stuff like the badge and the cup and the earrings and the hat, is this stuff that y'all like, this is what I'm gonna do, or do it's like God just drop stuff in y'all spirit?
Yeah, mine is definitely
It's
God-driven.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's like it's not pre-planned by
Yeah.
no means. No, but just know what we want to do and accomplish, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
put us on the path.
So what is it like being at the Sherman Phoenix? Is it like family oriented in there?
It's a blessing being in this space because everybody helps everybody.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, it's not odd for you to see, us putting labels on cookies or, somebody
Stuffing
getting somebody else's
bags
business
or
advice
whatever,
whatever
yeah.
it is. It's cross-marketing all the way around, but then it's community and it's family. So, like, everything I post that has to do with Sherman things, I always hashtag things fam because, like, we are very connected.
I don't know of any place in Milwaukee that's doing that. I mean, we have businesses, yeah, but it's a vibe at the Sherman Phoenix.
I think it has a lot to do with, yes, they had the foresight to take this bank that had been burnt up and see that, let's make something good of that, something that bad that happened.
Right.
And so Julie Kaufman and Joanne Spear
Okay.
are the developers. So this
Okay.
was their vision to do this.
Shout out to Julie
and Joanne, yes.
Julie and Joanne, God
Yes.
bless you.
But I also think it has a lot to do. I don't think anyone could just do this anywhere and have the same vibe we have, because it's the tenants inside. It's the relationships that we've built inside there with all the tenants. I don't know you can go someplace else and have that type of community where everyone's taking care of each other and watching over and making sure that if somebody's having a bad day, they're going to lift them up. So it's very much the people too.
Like, we experience so many different people throughout our days coming from the east to the west coast, and they're like, we don't have anything like this. There's nothing like this, where the majority of the tenants are black businesses, so to be able to come into that space. And it's just like you said, it's impossible to recreate the exact same environment. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. And then the fact that y'all are on Fond du Lac and Burlock.
Listen,
Right.
and that's the beauty of it for me, because I love the hood.
Yeah.
Like, that's me.
Y'all right in the heart of it,
right
right in the thick of it.
Right there.
Everything for me, and I love that we can laugh at work, we can cry at work. It's nothing to see people holding hands, praying at work, honey. We gonna laugh, we gonna pray, we gonna twerk, we gonna do everything in our place of business.
That's
and
like,
I love it,
And there's no judgment.
and it's no judgment.
There's no judgment.
in your place of business. That's like I woke up, I had this dream that we had this building and it was all black people in there and we was praying. That sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
What is your go-to as far as keeping your mental stability, your mental health? What does that look like for you?
Well, first of all, I'm in therapy every week, faithfully, 9
Really?
a.m. on Wednesdays. Yeah.
What does therapy look like for you? Because I know it's all different ways to get there.
So I actually have a black female therapist. I love her.
You mind sharing her name with us?
Her name is Danetta Walker.
Okay. Shout out to Danetta Walker.
Yes, and so she's bomb. I love her. And I've only been going since the beginning of this year, but it's been so instrumental in talking things through. It's good to have an unbiased party to be able to listen to. I talk to my mom, talk to my friends, but to have someone who doesn't know me.
Right. What was it for you that was like, I need to find a therapist? I need a therapist.
I have experienced a lot of trauma.
Okay.
A lot of trauma, and not only just myself, having kids and a spouse. So having to wear all these different hats and being an entrepreneur, wear all these different hats and have all these different roles, compiled with all these different traumas and just life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The state of our world, the pandemic, just so much stuff compiled into one thing. And I began to notice things by myself. I was shaking. Like, I was nervous. Like, my nerves were bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like, I'm an artist. My formal background is in art education. So I will paint. And I still do these things too. I go out in nature. I feel closest to God in nature. And of course, praying. Like, and that goes without saying, praying. Reading my scripture devotional. I started doing yoga sometime last year. But I needed to do something else. I knew I needed to talk these things through. One, to say, am I crazy? Like, am I this crazy? God, or what's going on, And just to kind of get some answers. And again, like I said, therapists are trained to be able to hear things that other people cannot and see things that we may not necessarily be able to see. So for her to be able to say, I heard that you say this about your dad. So do you think that has anything to do with this? in this relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Bringing
and
stuff
to be
to
able
life
to
that
have
you
a
never-
correlation.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew I needed to get well. You know
what I think. Therapy is frowned upon.
Oh,
but
very
it's
much
needed.
so.
It's so needed.
It's so needed. I think that everybody that's black needs therapy for real.
And you know what? I'm a very prayerful person. I believe in the power of prayer, but I also believe that God sends us
that part
tools and instruments and vessels.
Definitely
and
does.
pray about it, but then tap into the therapy.
It's like, here's, I'm giving you these things.
And Miss Pam, what is that like for you? How do you unplug? Like,
I just like to. I like me. I like my time.
Okay.
And I love to do things for Pam. I love being outside in nature. My yard is like my heaven. I'll go out there and spend hours, and even if it's just cleaning, planting, whatever. But that's my happy place.
Okay.
It's my yard. But I walk. I ride my bike. I put puzzles together.
Okay.
I watch movies. What's
your favorite movie, Miss Pam?
I don't think I have. I used to say, she's like, what? Well, Sound of Music, I mean.
Really? That's your favorite?
Sound of Music, Dirty Dancing, and Pretty Woman, I think are always, they're all up there.
People look at me funny when I ask them that, but I'm always interested to know what a person's favorite movie is for some reason.
My favorite is definitely The Sound of Music.
Really? Mine is Coming to America. That is I'm talking about, it came out in '88, the year I was born, so I feel like it belongs to me. When the new Coming to America came out, I was highly offended. I felt like, don't touch it. But I had the perspective is everything. So I'm like, okay, ReRe, but it's creating avenues for upcoming.
Yep, to keep
the
the legacy going of Coming to America.
And then my cousin Trix was like, think of it like this. People touch classics all the time, but at least your classic is getting touched by the originator.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy is, and I'm
which
like,
is nice, yeah.
Because that's not always the case.
But I still, in the midst of me working on this project, this seed was sown last year, and I've been praying about it and everything, and we started in March of this year. And I knew that I wanted to do a certain amount of people, and I told my husband, when I'm giving people a massage, the Holy Spirit talks to me.
Yes.
Loud and clear. And I said, I don't know where I'm gonna get this last episode from, but I'm in mode, and the Sherman Phoenix dropped on me. And I text my husband, I'm like, hey, when I get to the house, you ride over to Sherman Phoenix with me, because we stay like 5 minutes away. He said, okay, yeah, but when we go in there, I said, I don't know. I just feel like the Holy Spirit told me to go in there, and I'm just gonna let him guide me, I walked straight down. Straight downstairs and just
to the underground ministry.
Yeah, so that picture you got on the wall, that's the thing that like made me, because I could have turned around like that pulled me, right?
Which picture?
The Harriet Tubman.
Oh, okay. The Harriet Wall. Okay.
So I'm walking in there and I saw At Peace, and then I saw yeah, and I'm like, let me talk to her, and it was just there. It just went from there. So you guys definitely have anointed energy on y'all, and that space is anointed. Seriously,
definitely, and we understand that. We understand what we've got there, and what we've developed, and people repeatedly tell us. As soon as they walk in,
that's confirmation.
They feel it. It's a vibe.
Listen,
it's an aura.
The Holy Spirit is definitely there. Yep. And I can tell that you guys are truly passionate about y'all. That's y'all baby. I really appreciate y'all coming and sitting and talking with me and letting me come into y'all's space.
I thank you for your obedience. This opportunity.
You know what? I never thought about it like that, but you're absolutely right. Because I could have came home and got in the bed. Right in the bed.
That part.